Hey, this is Hardline, Destructoid's video game news podcast. I'm Jordan DeVore, and we have a more or less full crew this week to talk about news. Steven Hansen's yawning, so I'm going to start with... Oh, you canceled your yawn. How do you do that?
Skills. Salve,
Awesome.
amiche.
Hamza Aziz. I swear I'm not intentionally doing this. And Brett Makedonsky.
Hi, Steven. Get it?
So, I almost want to just... lately, we haven't been saying our titles at Destructoid and all of that, but in the last episode, someone was really confused as to who we were. So, I don't know. Should I be doing that, guys? Maybe.
Someone commented on Destructoid was like, who are these people that write most of the articles on Destructoid?
I loved it. I legitimately was like, that's pretty... how does that even happen? It's funny to me, but...
Yeah,
what's funny is I put credits at the end of every episode that list your job titles.
Does anyone actually get that far, though?
Apparently not.
They're usually done by now.
That was Bill Zoker, our producer.
Yeah.
His job title is producer.
Steven is our features editor. Hamza is our CEO. Brett is our... What do we call you, Brett? Associate editor?
Number 3.
Brett number 3.
Depending on how drunk Hamza is. If Hamza's drunk, the number goes up.
It's not necessarily related to being drunk. It's more related to how much of an asshole you could be.
Okay, so what happens is Hamza and I will drink together, and then he becomes more Hamza when he drinks, and I become more anti-Hamza when we drink, and then I become an asshole to Hamza, and Hamza becomes an asshole to me, and it just, everything increases.
It's a beautiful relationship.
That's how that usually goes down.
And Jordan is our rock. He is our...
Oh, no. No, I don't want that responsibility. Please, no.
Jordan is my everything.
So we were going to... I mean, it's been kind of a light news week. Personally, this time of year is kind of... I don't want to say tough because we're writing about video games, but at the same time, there's just not a whole lot of super interesting things to talk about, and at least in my perspective. And... because the information is being held for E3, and it's just, kind of blah. People get all agitated and fight, and it's just not a very loving time right now. But Brett and...
we're going to bring the love.
We got to bring the love. So Brett and Dale's not with us this week. They went to an event called Judges Week, which is this pre-E3 thing. Brett, you want to start talking about this? I feel like most people won't know what this is.
So when you see awards handed out at E3, the people that vote on those awards are the judges, which are typically the editors-in-chiefs from the main outlets. The reason that companies throw pre-E3 events is because during E3 it would be pretty much impossible for everybody to get to all of the games and play them and be able to vote on them. So about a month before E3, these companies throw a thing out in LA, and basically every day is dedicated to a couple different publishers that are involved. So like for instance, one day we did Sega in the morning and then EA in the afternoon. And we basically get to hear what all of their E3 announcements are and play most of them. So everything that happens at E3, I already know.
To a degree.
They keep some stuff under wraps, but we get to see some of it also.
Yeah, I've done Judges Week for the last, not this year, but the last 3 years in a row as an assistant to Dale. And actually, the first one I went to was back when Nick Chester was still EIC of Destructoid. Also, if this episode goes up today, there's a thing for their Amplitude Kickstarter where you can vote for someone to get hit in the face with a pie and vote for Nick Chester.
You had damn well better vote for Nick. I did.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a good collection of the content we'll see at E3, but I feel like it's about 1/3 of the overall content we're actually get to experience. Because a lot of the secrets or whatever are being held for the big conferences and the actual big reveals there, and also because they probably don't trust us to keep everything on the wraps.
Well, yes, and I have to imagine some of these deals can be happening kind of last minute. Maybe not, but I feel like there's with some of these, especially the press conferences, they are swapping in and out segments based on what's actually ready. I feel like in the last couple of years, things have been leaked that were pretty much genuine, and then they just didn't show up in the conference because something fell through or something. I don't know. So a lot of speculation on that end, but
we had at least one big publisher tell us that they were going to show us a game, but one of the first party, Sony or Microsoft, wanted to use it for their press conference, and if it leaked, they were going to pull it, and that was too big of a risk for them, so they're just going to hold it until their press conference. So that's definitely a concern. I have a feeling that as far as like first party stuff, like Microsoft knows what it's going to do with its own stuff, Sony knows what it's going to do with its own stuff, but when it comes to like EA and Activision, I think that those can probably definitely get swapped out on the fly almost up until the first day of E3.
Steven's like, yeah, learning so much, Steven, aren't you? No. You know everything. Who am I kidding? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of difficult. E3 Judges Week is kind of hard to talk about just because it's super, super embargoed, and they'll kill our precious Brett number 3 if he says anything he's not supposed to say. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of interesting to know about. I feel like most people watching this show right now aren't super familiar with it. Maybe they are.
It's interesting because it's not really that transparent of a side of the industry. I mean, everyone knows what's going on with the PAXs and the E3s and all that stuff, but not a whole lot of people know about Judges Week.
It's not, at the end of the day, it's just, it's just a small gathering. It's not supposed to be this whole big show like E3 and PAX is. If it is definitely something for that audience that really gets into it. That audience that likes to go on NeoGAF and everything, that likes to know all the little gossips and secrets and everything. That they'll find this interesting. And at the end of the day, I mean, this makes our jobs overall really easy. We're actually very lucky to be a part of this because it's not like open to all the press outlets out there. I think this year especially it's smaller than ever considering all the closures that have been happening. But like, I don't know. I want to say like there's at least 20, 30 press people max at this.
Yeah,
at this year's.
It's really not many more than that. It's pretty small event.
Yeah. It just gives us a chance to, experience the content firsthand, and then for us to figure out our awards processes, both for the Games Critic Awards, which is all based on Judges Week, and then individual outlet awards as well. Like, this gives me, I'm responsible for E3's awards for Destructoid, so like, it gives me a small preview of what they expect. But like the first day of E3, all Tuesday, I'm just going from booth to booth, trying to figure out what to put on our nomination list and go from there.
The other thing that it helps with is it helps us with our coverage for the actual show because, like, I have an Evolve preview going up tomorrow. We don't need to go see Evolve again at the show because they told us it's their E3 build. So that's
always the issue with any of these is there's just way too much content to cover everything. No matter, even in the days when we had, I feel like 50 fucking people working for us. That's like what it felt like sometimes. It still wasn't enough. There's just never enough. You just got to concentrate on the things that you think are interesting or you think your audience thinks is interesting and go from there. So,
well, it also has a nice trickle-down effect because we obviously, at PAX, we really hit the indies hard, but at E3, you have to hit the big publishers hard. So the more of that we can get out of the way beforehand, we can spend more time on stuff like Devolver and Midnight City at E3 and give them coverage. So that's a cool side of that.
Which is really, those are the places I would want to, I'm not going to E3 this year, but I would want to go to those places more than anything, I think.
Oh, dude, Jordan. So Devolver is doing what they did last year for E3.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
times 5.
Yeah, exactly. Times 5. It's going to be even bigger than ever. So, all my lunches every day are going to be spent at Devolver's little shindig outside of E3. Can't wait.
Yeah, they basically have like a parking lot, I think. And
yes, they did last year, yeah.
Barbecue and beer every day, so.
And you go in this pimped out trailer to see a demo of a game and away from the hustle and bustle of E3 proper. It's awesome.
And they give you real food, so you get to eat real meats and vegetables or whatever instead of the bullshit convention food, which is this crappy sandwich and an apple you probably don't want anywhere near your mouth.
Yeah, I've never eaten that convention food.
I am now
it's
regretting
awful.
I'm regretting eating those apples now that you mention it. I'm probably cutting years off my life by consuming those things.
They were old wax apples that eventually fermented into food, into edible apples. So
it tasted like it, so I believe you.
So yeah, that's a small taste of what we from our side get to experience in this industry. And now we're at 19 days away from E3.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sooner than that, actually, if you want to consider Monday the beginning of E3.
Which it might as well be.
I'm mostly excited to... last year, I discovered this really awesome hole in the wall that I'm not going to name because I literally don't want anyone else to go there.
What kind of food is it?
It's good.
Wow.
I feel like everyone that goes to E3 discovers some kind of really cool secret, but they don't want anyone else to know because they just want to keep that to themselves. Because otherwise, if they tell everyone, then
no one can keep this shit to themselves.
And then everyone will know. Like I know of a really great tactic to get around E3 to avoid all the crowds, but I'm not gonna say that publicly. I'll let you guys know later.
I'm now really curious what this is.
I think I know.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I'm not going to E3 this year. Well, it's always like you want to go because there's energy there. I get to see you, great people, but at the same time, it's just like your body. It's an environment that's not great to be in for a whole week. Whereas the benefit from my perspective, being at home covering E3, is that I can have 50 tabs open at all times and. I'll be aware of stuff as it breaks.
Yeah, you'll be on top of everything.
Amounts of sleep.
One of my favorite feelings at every show, but specifically E3, is when you're gone for an entire day, and then you go back to your hotel room to maybe drop off your stuff and like get changed to go to a party, and you close the hotel door room, and it's just complete sensory deprivation. You've heard like booming dubstep all day long, and there's lights and all that shit, and there's just nothing, and your ears ring from the nothingness. It's amazing.
Well, that's why I kind of belly flop onto the bed and pass out for like 2 minutes, and then wake back up and like, okay, I'm ready to go.
That's why I love Devolver's thing, what they do outside now, because the first time I did that last year, I got out there. I mean, I'm sitting down, eating a sandwich and like feeling the sun on me, and it's actually quiet. I mean, save for the traffic outside and everything, but I just felt so happy at that moment. I mean, don't get us wrong. Like I don't know about you guys honestly, but like for me, I really love E3. It's a great experience. It's a great fun time, but it is overwhelming at the same time.
Right.
It can be very exhausting.
It's a long, long week, but I don't think I ever walk away from an E3 not happy that I went. So
yeah,
I can agree with that too. Steven, you've been doing some cool stuff lately. You went to Supergiant Games. They just released Transistor.
I did. I went with Hamza, and we had a nice little discussion with all the small team there. Well, growing team. They're up to like 12 people now.
I was talking to Greg about doing this since the second time they showed it off at a PAX or whatever. I'm like, hey, we live right like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from you guys. Let's do something. Let's do something. And every time it's like, I mean, I didn't want to bother these people while in the middle of developing this game. It's been a long process, and you'll find out from the features Steven's running all this week, like it's gone through a lot of changes since its original inception and everything. So like finally when they announced the release date, this is right before PAX East, so I ran to Greg again at PAX East. So I'm like, hey, we're doing this finally. He's like, yep, let's do it. But
that's Greg Kasavin you're talking about.
Yeah, the lead writer and co-founder as well of
Supergiant. Probably.
It was
formerly of GameSpot.
Amir and Gavin, I think, officially co-founded it.
Oh, okay.
And Greg came on fairly soon after. I don't know.
Anyways, what's going on with your feature, Steven?
But yeah, so I 2 really lengthy interviews, featured pieces have gone up in the last couple days, which you can see on Destructoid. And we talked with Greg and also with Darren Korb, the musician, composer, and sound guy on Bastion and Transistor, and Amir, the sort of designer, director, co-founder of Supergiant, and they're just a really great interview. So you go and look at these pieces, and it's mostly them talking, and it's anything.
I was just going to say really quickly to interject. They have the way I don't know how. I mean, obviously, some of it is you arranging the quotes in a certain order and presenting it in a certain way, but the way, like, you'll have some giant uninterrupted quotes where it's just like they're kind of doing it for you. The way they speak is just it's naturally interesting and engaging.
Yeah, no, and I think it's because it's such a weird time because we went over like when they'd finished the game and we're just getting ready to hit the release date, and so they're kind of going back and kind of coming up with all of this on the spot, because it's like they've been work head down this whole time. So it was really a chance for them to kind of realize all these things that they've gone through, and they kind of worked that out in the interview, and there are just some like lengthy uninterrupted. I mean, the whole interview was 2 straight hours of conversation, which turned into a 30-page single-spaced Word document with over 1,500 words, which is why it's going to be in total like 4 or 5 parts. But yeah, they really just opened up, and the first one was it was in terms of chronology, it kind of started with what they've been doing now, getting up to release, and then it kind of jumps back to the very, very beginning and inception of Transistor. And then with the part 2, this is more specifics in terms of designing Transistor and blending strategy elements, and also some really just really nice discussion about video games that they've been playing during development, games that inspired them, and just
lots of Dota.
Yeah, lots of Dota on their end. XCOM also, which is amazing. So yeah, it's really cool. And we have one more piece up focusing on the music, and one more piece up focusing on the art. We also talked to Gen Z, the artist for the game. So
yeah, she revealed something really cool about one of the original look of the Transistor itself, the sword. It wasn't always a sword.
Yeah, and we'll also have some early a piece of early concept art to check out when that goes up.
That'll be good, because the music especially is that's just something you gravitate towards for their games. At least I do. Bastion 2.
And I think the PlayStation blog posted up all the music or a good sense of it.
Or was it just a song?
Supergiant actually posted up the entire thing.
Okay.
The entire soundtrack is up for streaming. They uploaded the entire thing to YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on SoundCloud. And then you could, of course, buy the album. The digital version is $10. The CD, the physical, is $15. It's a 23-track album, and all the music is just fantastic. Like, the game itself, I just beat it last night, actually. It's definitely going to be my top whatever at the end of the year.
I like that there's a button for humming.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hold down.
At any point, except for
also the
fights, you can just start humming.
Also, the flourish button is good. That kind of like swinging the sword jump step thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did that just for the fun of it. I don't know how that could help me at all otherwise. I don't know.
It's just beautifully animated and fun to do when you're walking around.
Yeah. Also, for those of you who probably are getting this on the PlayStation 4, definitely change the settings so the Transistor sword is speaking through the PlayStation 4 controller instead of just the TV. It changes the experience.
I figured that would have been
incredibly
in there by default. That's not the default option.
No, I saw Greg on Twitter saying that they had to make an assumption that a lot of people would not like that. They would find it too jarring or whatever. But the option is there at least, and it's just way better hearing the Transistor speaking from your controller. Not only does it speak from your controller, but regardless, anytime it does speak, the light bar on your PS4 controller flashes in time with how he's speaking, so it looks like your PlayStation 4 controller is talking.
That's kind of really cool. I didn't know it did that on the PS4.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't notice. I don't think anyone notices this until I played it at PAX. They had like this dark room that they would put the press in to check it out, and then I started noticing that the light was flashing only because it was a dark room and everything. So I was like, hey, that's a really cool feature that like 5% of the audience will give a shit about.
So yeah, Transistor, I'm playing it too. I like it. It sounds like we all are pretty into it. It's even if the game wasn't good, I think this feature series would be interesting. But the fact that the game's good makes it that much better. So definitely check that out on Destructoid. I am proud of it for Steven. So there you go. Good job.
Oh, I appreciate it, Jordan. You can print it out and put it up on the fridge.
I will. I think I will.
Cute magnets.
I need a lot of magnets, though.
This is something I've been wanting us to do a lot more of. It's just a very time-consuming thing.
And that's the thing is, we, especially lately, I feel like we've been getting a lot of people saying they want us to do more of these sorts of things, and it's not like we don't want to do them. It's just, it's not easy. First of all, it's time consuming. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and so we definitely hear that feedback, and we want to do it, but it's tough.
We are doing more of it.
We are doing more.
I'm going to try to have something up on Behemoth. Either I'll do it or just make Steven do it. But I had a really cool lengthy chat with one of the co-founders. Behemoth, along with somebody else during PAX, and it was really insightful. The whole how the studio works and everything. Like, I didn't realize this until I talked to them, but they're a team of like 9 to 11 at max at that studio, which is like, including Dan Paladin, who's just the one artist at Behemoth as far as all their games go and everything. It's like, well, I guess this kind of makes sense why it takes them 3 to 4 years to yeah.
That's like Transistor, like 10 people, one artist.
Yep.
So what's next for Supergiant? They tell you that?
They don't know.
Are they gonna?
That's in I think part 1 is like they were talking about how they're always surprised when people ask like, "What's next? Are you doing a sequel?" When they make a point to not even consider what they're doing next, at least until a few months after what they're working on comes out, and they're like, it's great because we don't have to lie. Like, we really don't know. We'll come back in a few months and then decide what we're gonna do.
I think maybe they should mash up Bastion and Transistor and make Bash Sister.
Do it.
Sorry.
I should have not said
it.
We can make it as silent as possible for as long as possible.
Leave the puns to Steven and I. And the bad jokes. The bad good jokes. Your
also
joke
the
What do you
dad
mean?
jokes.
What do you mean, Hamza? When do you make puns?
You weren't here last week. I made a great pun.
Yeah, he closed this out. He closed this out strong.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm proud of you, boss.
I saw your tweet saying you call people boss on whatever. You don't actually mean it, so I'm onto your bullshit.
Hamza, I'm gonna print out
Clip 5.
I'm gonna print out that clip from last week and I'm gonna put it on my fridge.
Good job. You should make it a lenticular so it's animated. It's an animated GIF.
GIF, Hamza, please.
Okay, whatever.
GIF.
Let's not do this.
It's a GIF. It's not goddamn peanut butter.
GIF. The guy who created the animated
He's wrong.
GIF.
He created it. He doesn't know. He does not realize his mistake.
Sorry. Okay, you're right. Let me.
It's
let me
no
go,
longer
let me
his.
go
It's
to,
the internet.
Just kick me off of California. Send me to an island.
What?
Now we're pronouncing things correctly. Anyways.
Jesus.
That's okay. You want to talk about Far Cry 4? We can talk about that maybe.
Send me there. Send me to the Himalayas.
So details came out about Far Cry 4. So the game was officially announced. They showed box art. The box art's kind of noteworthy. Details are it's in a fictional place around the Himalayas and some other stuff about a civil war. It sounds like the same old Far Cry type stuff to me, honestly.
Good.
Which is good, yeah, sure.
Based on the lead character's name, it seems like he won't be a shitty, douchey, rich white kid. So that's nice.
What if he was? What if he was just had that name? So Brett, you wrote about this.
What was that?
I wanted
guys.
Brett to just jump in and go. I thought he had feelings about this because I really don't.
About Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
I liked Far Cry 3. I don't know. Like, I don't really have feelings about it.
I
yet.
have feelings.
More
Ask
Far-
me about my feelings.
What are your
I think Brett
feelings,
now,
Hamza?
Oh, okay.
I mean, can I ride an elephant? I just want to ride an elephant. That's really where we're at with this.
Wasn't there a rumor about that?
Yeah, and you know what? All the other rumors panned out, so I'm pretty high on the elephant rumor right now. But
That's the only thing that it must be true. That like, as in, it needs to happen. Is the elephant thing? That's what got me excited originally. I think there was also rumor that there'd be monsters in it. So
I think there were monsters in the original Far Cry, but I mean, they have no real correlation to Far Cry 2, 3, and 4. But.
Not really. Yeah. And there was stuff about the protagonist and like race and sexuality.
I don't want to get into that shit.
I was just gonna say I'm not really gonna get into that because they're not. It's a lot of just speculation at this point, and so why not really worthwhile talking about. But
the weird thing is for them to lead with that image and then not try to contextualize it, because then they're just saying like, okay, this is going to stand on its own. Like our boxes, there's this light-skinned guy in a pink suit, like with his
holding the head of a man with a grenade that has its pin pulled.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
Everyone's talking about it.
True. I do like the design of that villain, I have to say. Just visually kind of interesting.
It's a nice suit.
He's got his nice haircut.
I just hope that out of everything, because I thought Far Cry 3 was a great experience, and then correlated to Blood Dragon, that was also great. I just hope that Ubisoft actually realizes that they have a good series and franchise on their hands this time around, and actively tries more to promote it.
Well, according to that Ubisoft big business PDF of junk, like they're trying to make Far Cry a main series in video games. They want Far Cry 4 to be in the top 10 selling games. Like they want it to be up with their Assassin's Creeds and their other games that I don't like.
They said that back in when did Far Cry 3 release? 2012. Back in 2012, They said that about Far Cry 3, and I kind of thought that was bullshit. But then Far Cry 3 ended up being one of my favorite games that year. I realized that if they market that franchise right, it has potential to be top whatever for them.
I feel like a lot of it was due to just word of mouth. Like, hey, this is fucking great. Everyone should go check this out. Because I mean, despite the fact that they barely promoted it and then pushed off the release of that game in December.
Yeah.
That's when games go to die.
Yeah. And yet it didn't. It refused to die. So, I'm glad that,
I feel
they're doing it for, and I just hope they're smarter about the fact that, hey, they actually have a good series, a good idea on their hands. It's not just another goddamn Assassin's Creed with bad wall-running mechanics.
I feel like I agree that it has the potential to be huge, but part of me feels like Assassin's Creed as a concept is just more widely a larger audience can play that, whereas shooters maybe I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, no, because I mean, you look at Call of Duty, it's like that's the biggest seller in the industry because
sure
it's all about marketing at the end of the day. Like, I mean, the fact that Call of Duty is so big is easily attributed to the fact that they spend millions.
You really just need one good release, and then you can market it from there. I mean, Modern Warfare was awesome when it released, and Well, Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't really, in my opinion, but there have been good Assassin's Creed games. There have been good Far Cry games.
There have been some good Assassin's Creed. I mean, Assassin's Creed 4.
They're not all awful, is what I'm saying. I think we can agree that, right? Like compare some to the others. Some of them are definitely better than others in the series. The thing is, I don't know if I want Far Cry to become the next big whatever for them, because we kind of know what happens when
as
they
long
get
as
there.
it's not a yearly thing like Assassin's Creed, as long as they actually it looks like they're spending a lot of time on developing. Like if Far Cry 4 is coming out this year, that means it's been two almost 3 years since the last one. 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And then there was Blood Dragon.
Well, you can't really count Blood Dragon into the equation here.
You kind of can. They're doing it differently, but it's like Assassin's Creed. Like, oh, here's Revelations. Here's a different thing. That's kind of
but I mean, Blood Dragon was like this giant experiment that was a standalone piece of downloadable content, and it was actually like in some ways, if not better than the core original experience, because it didn't take itself too seriously. It was just goofy. It was like a homage, dumb '80s shit. It was really fun. Whereas Assassin's Creed is like they're doing that same formula every year. Although I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 did have that freedom cry thing, which again in that case too, like it was a big experiment for Ubisoft and it did well. Because it focused on airplanes flying overhead. You get what I'm saying? Like at least with the downloadable stuff, they're willing to do experiments.
My thing is Ubisoft can do whatever the hell they want with like the Division and Assassin's Creed and blah blah blah, as long as they keep making UbiArt games and Rayman and Child of Light and Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, well there you go. Like you get that kind of creative freedom, and Blood Dragon included, because they're selling 6 million copies of Assassin's Creed, so they have that money.
I wish Ubisoft wanted Rayman to be their next big thing, but apparently nobody buys those games, so it will never be their next big thing. Those games are brilliant, though. They're
so good.
all when Origins and Legends, those were both my favorite games of the years that they released. I don't know.
I think Origins was like 2 for me under Catherine, but yeah, those are great.
You really are doing yourself a disservice if you're not playing them. I'm with Brett. I think Legends might have been my favorite the year it came out. I can't remember. They were both top 5 the years they released. They're so fucking good.
You can probably get them for dirt cheap now too.
They were pretty cheap not long after they released, if I remember right. So because people weren't buying them.
Even the iOS games, the mobile games, Jungle Run and whatever,
Fiesta something.
Yeah.
I haven't played those, but I've seen people play them. They look really fun too. I mean,
they're great.
It look like the same experience, just kind of you don't have the same freedom. It's just kind of moves for you. But,
it's more of a runner.
Yeah.
In those cases, but I don't know. Ubisoft is doing a lot of right things overall. I don't know what the whole point of this. Oh yeah, Far Cry. I forgot what we were talking about specifically. We'll know more about Far Cry at E3. Although we do already know that it's going to have a season pass because that got leaked, and it's going to have and it was announced with pre-order info.
See, that's
the harpoon gun. Have you seen that?
What?
The pre-order / season pass image they used to promote it. It's like a guy with a harpoon gun, and it's like he has it like right on his crotch, like pointing at. It just looks so. The composition is so ridiculous.
Of course.
Oh man.
See, that's my fear with Far Cry: is season pass, blah 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 blah.
Well, I mean, if anything, the season pass will probably mostly be tied to the multiplayer, which I'm really surprised they're still attempting multiplayer with Far Cry, because I don't really know that there was an audience that gave a shit about it for.
I didn't even know there was multiplaer. was it just was it co-op or was it?
No, it was versus. There was
there was both.
I knew there was co-op, but I honestly did not know there was competitive multiplayer.
Yeah, neither did I.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit about Far Cry 3 for the longest time because they kept showing the competitive multiplayer off at conventions.
They did, yeah.
And then it wasn't until Gamescom when they were like showing off the single player, they gave me the controller there and they put me in the middle of the map. And they said, "All right, do whatever you want." And I'm like, "What do you mean, do whatever I want?"
I don't want to do it.
No. Like in the sense, like it's usually like this driven, like go from point A to point B to point C or whatever. And this demo was like, yeah, you got an hour, just do whatever you want. And like that's when Far Cry 3 like just clicked with me. And I was like, holy shit, this game is gonna be great. Like just so much freedom offered here, like in comparison to what I was expecting. Just another run of the mill shooter.
Speaking of open world games that we're going to see more about at E3, Arkham Knight trailer.
Shit.
Master of the segue.
Yeah,
trailer.
so a trailer came out this morning, Wednesday. A lot of it is on the Batmobile, which is, I guess, to be expected since we kind of know. I mean, they have combat figured out so well that they don't necessarily need to be showing that right now. So it makes sense that they would show the Batmobile. That's the big new thing.
It does the Men in Black thing of riding upside down on the inside of a tunnel. Don't push the button.
I'm wondering what those tunnels are going to be for. If it's just like there's Riddler challenges down there, or if that's just a way to more quickly get through Gotham, or what it is. I don't know.
From what I saw at GDC, I don't know if this is true for 100% of the game, but it looks like Riddler caves will take over Riddler trophies. So you go down into a cave and you have to complete like a 3-lap circuit, which changes every time, and you have to like.
So it's a karting game.
It looked really terrible at GDC, and it looked like they just put it in the game for kind of to like be like, okay, Batmobile, you have more purpose now. But yeah, you can drive on top of the caves and get your Riddler trophies. Hooray!
Great. And I'm gonna have to do that because they'll probably do something with you collecting them all, like in Arkham City.
Go ahead. I just like that there's like a Chinatown because I'm always a sucker for. It's like a Blade Runner Chinatown. It's all neon lights and stuff, and like. I'm just a huge sucker for that.
Play Sleeping Dogs. Everything is giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Chinatown, that game.
And that's why I like that game.
No.
We will see more at E3 of probably much more substance than this. Yeah, I'm down for this on PC since I can. That's the only way I can play it right now. But you guys like Arkham, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
I do, but I don't know what they can really do to get me super excited about Arkham again.
Well,
I know what they could do. They could tell you that Gotham is getting invaded by all these for the 4th time in a row.
Exactly. Like it seems like nothing ever really changes.
Why does anyone live there?
Like,
I mean, how do you raise the stakes in the next game? It's like the whole world is being invaded.
I don't know. To
be fair, the stakes
Justice League game right there.
The stakes don't seem like they're really raised in this game because they evacuated the entire city and they effectively made Gotham Arkham City again.
Just blow it up.
The only thing I care about, honestly, for this game is whether or not the Joker is in it, and I swear to God, if he's in it, I will not be happy.
Did he die?
Yeah, I know he did, but that's not to say he's not going to come back, Hamza. They seem obsessed with having him in.
Yeah.
So
it's weird to have killed him and then still want to make these games.
I don't think they wanted to make another one. Maybe.
Well, I will say I'm glad this is their last chapter.
I think that's what could get me excited about a Batman game is like them finishing it and then
they'll finish it and then someone will come on to revive it.
Well, as long as it's not like an Origins thing, like no, but like I would totally like to see another take on a Batman game that's like not the same game.
At GDC, Rocksteady kept talking about the Arkham trilogy and completing the Arkham trilogy. And everyone was kind of like, wasn't Origins the Arkham trilogy? Wasn't that the third game?
You just got me thinking of different takes on the Batman series. A Mark of the Ninja style Batman game would be fucking killer.
That would be neat.
I was about to say it's just a 2D Streets of Rage beat 'em up.
Okay, that's a little.
Actually, what I've always wanted is like a more detective-oriented Batman game. Not like crappy LA Noire detective, but like an actual detective game.
Arkham Soul Suspect.
There you go.
Not like crappy
like
Murder
that.
Soul Suspect detective game, but
That
an
game-
actual detective game where you can like, it's like on you, like you can lose and like not get things right, and like, you know, those are hard to do, which is why no one does them well. But
it'd be super frustrating to do. Like
If you're not good at the game, it's just worthless. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be cool though. If yeah, I will play this.
I'll
game.
I'll just go find a copy of the Blade Runner game. Let's play that.
You know, I keep thinking that Murder Soul Suspect already came out, but it hasn't.
And
Well-
Steven just wrote it off 30 seconds ago. He called it a crappy game. It comes out in 2 weeks.
It does. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That thing
it's
is
not
gonna
really
bomb.
doing anything.
Doesn't it? Does it come out during E3?
It comes out like a week before E3, so you know, good timing there. Even if it did, even if it's a great game, just releasing anything around E3 time, just setting it to die essentially.
I kind of can't
For the
believe
most part.
Kind of can't believe that game exists because
That seems like. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, game development has gotten to a point where I thought this type of game couldn't exist anymore, really. Although I guess it is backed by Square Enix, so that explains a lot. But
It's so. I mean, I really wasn't all that sold on it when I previewed it a few months ago,
Sold Suspect.
and I've never been.
yes, redeemed yourself, Brett. You
Good
redeemed
job,
yourself.
Brett. Number 2.
And I never have been, but like, it won't be bad in the same way that a lot of games are bad. It'll at least be bad in its own way if it's bad.
Sure.
What a ringing endorsement.
I hope they're going to email us to use that quote. Ask for permission. Well, I'll give it to them.
I mean, it seems like the perfect like June 26th game where everybody's just like, oh, what the fuck else is out? All right, Murdered. I'll buy Murdered. You know,
That sounds
And they
like
get-
the week of May 20th release, like Wolfenstein.
Nice segue. Wow, I was just about to go into that. Honestly, though, if I had to play one of those two games, I'd play Wolfenstein. I think I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I don't want to play Wolfenstein at all.
I
And
don't want to either.
I'm a little bit mystified by the very positive response it's getting.
Well, what's like the Metacritic average? What's it been mostly? 8s and
7s and 8s, yeah.
7s and 8s.
I think it's gotten a couple of glowing 9s, but that's
I
about
feel like shooters can get away with that frequently if they play it mostly safe and maybe have a couple interesting little bits in there. They'll get an 8.
The thing is, though, like the most interesting bit in this game I've seen so far is the Wolfenstein 3D throwback level.
Yeah, you can play a level of Wolfenstein 3D in there where everything looks like it did originally, except for you and your guns are still 3D.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
So I got about 2 hours into this game, and I had to put it down. I just can't.
So how does it even start? Is there some prologue sequence?
It starts in a this D-Day-ish kind of intro, like, you know, storming Normandy kind of situation. Except in this one, you're immediately in an airplane with a bunch of other fellows shoulders. It's 1960. The Nazis are somehow still winning with their advanced technology and everything, and it starts off pretty intense because, you know, you're in the middle of a firefight in the air and everything, but like within those 10 minutes I died at least 20 times from just poor direction and just it was a really frustrating experience. I wasn't really having much fun with the game overall, but yeah, it starts off like that, and then after that level it kind of goes into storming this castle, and then from there it kind of fast forwards a little in time.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I played the castle part at an event.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay.
it's okay because there's nothing else to play.
I kind of just want to go play Wolfenstein 3D again.
Yeah,
You're
if
playing
anything.
Transistor.
Yeah, I am playing that right now. I could keep playing that, I guess.
Well, I was playing that and then I beat it, so I have nothing else to play right now.
How long did that take you, Hamza?
What, Transistor?
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually. I played it over 5-6 nights. But not
It's
for
not
long.
super long though, is it?
No, it's not super long.
Okay.
I want to say maybe 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, I was thinking it might be shorter
That's
than
a
that.
good,
So
good length.
okay,
Yeah, it might be a little shorter. I don't know. I was kind of taking my time with it. I didn't want to rush through it.
It's so fucking pretty. Just want to look at like every detail.
I feel
like,
guilty going through the environments too quickly.
Yeah,
I feel guilty only having a 30-inch TV to look at it on.
yeah. I actually might just do a second playthrough. There's a what is that mode called? Essentially, it's a new game plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Since
it's
it's
called.
offers, so
I forget what it's called.
I think recursion or something.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll probably do another playthrough. Maybe not now. Maybe closer towards the end of the year when we start doing our game of the year picks and everything. But yeah,
Yeah, Wolfenstein. Ugh.
Wolfen. Bleh. Ah,
Good job.
thanks.
I was gonna talk about Chuck E. Cheese's, but I don't even know if I want to anymore. This show has gone on longer than this. I knew this would happen. I didn't want to do a super long show, and it's not terribly long, but this went longer than I expected.
It's
I only
one
wanna
thing. It's one thing to go to a game convention and try on an Oculus Rift. It's another to even contemplate donning an Oculus Rift that's been worn by little shitty kids.
I think the kids are gonna like vomit from being disoriented, and they're gonna have fucking like greasy pizza fingers touching the thing, and like.
I honestly do not know the logistics of how this is going to work. So they have, so it's in test markets. It's going to be in 3 cities for a 6-week run. Kids who have their birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese's can play this like custom-made.
Kids who are
Ticket
having their
blast
birthday at
experience.
Chuck E. Cheese can ignore their fellow birthday invitees and start playing in virtual reality.
In regular reality.
In regular reality.
Yeah, wearing
They can
an
play Chuck E. Cheese games in the Oculus Rift. They can play skee ball, whatever else Chuck E. Cheese offers. I don't even know. It's been a long time.
I haven't
In
gone
the
to
Oculus
that.
Rift.
I've actually never been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
I've been.
It's
The-
Back
in
when
North
the mouse was the mouse and not this like
I was going to
anorexic
bring that up.
little
The new Chuck
hipster
E. Cheese
shit.
is so terrifying. He's like skinny and
Well, okay. To be fair, the animatronic big puppets were also terrifying.
for different reasons, though. I was accustomed to that terrifyingness. Now he looks like he's gonna murder me in my sleep more than ever. He's so creepy. I don't even know what Chuck E. Cheese's looks like these days.
Yeah, I'm surprised that has persisted at all.
It ain't what
Do
it
they
used
still
to be.
It probably isn't. Yeah.
Do they still have McDonald's Playlands? Like those are
Yes.
cool too. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
They
Probably 'cause
have
there's
some
there's
of
no
them.
room.
Some of them still have Nintendo setups.
You beat
And by
me to
Nintendo, I mean it's
64 and it's
64, and some of them do GameCubes now.
wow.
Oh.
I figured they would just like install tablets and you just play Candy Crush on them.
Some
I think all the
That's
San
great.
Francisco ones are gone because no one they just don't have space for those.
Well, it's San Francisco.
And I haven't been anywhere outside of San Francisco, so I've not seen a McDonald's Playland in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Video
so-
games.
Video games, Chuck E. Cheese's. I think we can wrap this up now, right?
I
I think
Tell us, Mr.
Detroit-
Hardline host.
Detroit
I don't like
headquarters
us.
should get a ball pit. I'd rock a ball pit. Like
Let's
when
just fill the entire office with those plastic balls. I'm sure that you can get them on
This
the
office
internet.
is already full of balls.
Yeah. All right, so you can check us out. Check out other videos on youtube.com/gtoid. You can find the audio version of this podcast you just maybe listened to right now on iTunes if you search for Destructoid Hardline. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at DtoidJordan. Steven is at DtoidSteven. Hamza is at CTZ. Brett is at Donsky3. Bill, our producer, is at Bill Zoker, I think. Okay. And I don't know. Hamza was on me last time for not closing this out properly, so I don't know what else to say.
Good job.
Thanks
No,
for
good
listening.
job.
Thanks for
You
listening.
did your job. Good job.
Yay!
Yay.
And that's the end.